What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below to not miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here on our YouTube channel. As the House of Representatives and the Senate debate on new gun reform laws and whether or not they can pass it, a largely Democrat versus Republican issue for the whole country, states can pass laws in their states differently, as the federal government, the House and Senate, and the president try to pass something for the whole country. Well, we have just seen one of the largest states pass a gun reform law, and will this send a message to multiple states across the country? That's right. New York State just passed a massive gun reform law. Here is the governor of New York State with her speech and the information. Check this out.
I'm speaking to you today as the governor of a state in mourning and the citizen of a nation in crisis. For over the past few weeks, we've been overcome by grief, by heartache, by anger. First of all, 10 of our brothers and sisters in my hometown were senselessly slaughtered while grocery shopping at a place called Tops Friendly Markets, targeted by a white supremacist, literally because of the color of their skin. His words, not mine. And yet, before these wounds even had a chance to heal, more news, more headlines about the slaughter of 19 babies in grade school and 2 teachers at an elementary school in Uvalde. So we're grappling with these twin tragedies. We're constantly reminded of the scale of this across the nation. Just days ago, 4 people killed at a hospital in Tulsa. This weekend, 3 people killed, 11 wounded in Philadelphia as gunmen fired into a crowd in a bustling entertainment district. It just keeps happening. Shots ring out, flags come down, and nothing ever changes, except here in New York. In New York, we are taking bold, strong action. We're tightening the red flag laws to keep guns away from dangerous people. And we're raising the age of semi-automatic weapons so no 18-year-old can walk in on their birthday and walk out with an AR-15. Those days are over. Those days are over. You hear that? Those days are over. And we're micro-stamping bullets so law enforcement can have an easier time catching the criminals. And we're closing loopholes so the firearms that are being so cleverly manufactured or altered cannot evade our laws anymore. There's more to do. Thoughts and prayers won't fix this, but taking strong action will. And we'll do that in the name of the lives that have been lost, for the parents who will no longer see children stepping off a school bus, spouses won't see their husband or wife coming back from the grocery store. The lives have been altered forever because just too many families have been destroyed, shattered, because of targeted gun violence, but also the random gun violence that occurs on our streets every single day. It just keeps happening over and over and over. And I have to ask, When do we become a nation that reveres the right to have the ability to possess a gun over the right of a child to stay alive? When did that happen? When will we as a nation say, enough of the bloodshed, no more, no more? Gun violence is a disease that is tearing our nation apart, and it is now the #1 killer of children in America. How do we look at ourselves in the mirror every morning and not take action to protect these innocent children? For 60 years, car accidents were the #1 cause of death of children. That was not okay with us, so we took action. We passed laws. We made cars safer. We mandated seatbelts. Yeah, we took away the freedom to ride in a car without a seatbelt. It was a very big deal when it happened. But people adapt. They got used to it. And guess what? We saved the lives of thousands of children. So it was clearly worth it. And now guns are the leading cause of their death. We know what we have to do. And this is a crisis, the scale of which requires a national response at the federal level and from each and every state. But here in New York, we don't wait. We lead. We've already have the strongest laws in the nation, but even that's not enough. Because when we see loopholes, we close them. When we see laws that need to be strengthened, we strengthen them. And if anyone tries to evade our laws, we stop them. Because this is a moment of reckoning for us as New Yorkers and as Americans.
Wow. Yeah. So this is passed in New York State. Let me know your thoughts about this. Of course, this is not taking away average, regular guns away from people. I get the gun ownership argument. This is not that. In fact, if you actually listen to what she said, it's just raising the age for to own a semi-automatic or to go buy a semi-automatic. So even that is not even being taken away. It's just raising the age on it. So if you actually just kind of look at it realistically, um, let me know your thoughts here. By no means are they talking about just taking away guns from everybody. I get the whole there's going to be the whole extreme argument that they want to take away our guns. That is, it's not, that will never pass. That's not what's happening. But we do kind of got to look of what's happening here. Just literally 10 mass shootings in the United States happening every single week around our country. And the interesting analogy about the seatbelts. If you kind of look up what happened there, they didn't want to pass seatbelts back in the day. The whole freedom to not wear a seatbelts. Yeah, you kind of look about all these different things here in the United States. It's weird how I know, yeah, but in my opinion, we need a little bit of form here. The whole military automatics and things like that. I don't think they were ever really designed to be out being used the way they are, not on the battlefield, being used against school children. I mean, you can let me know your thoughts here on that, but we now have states passing these laws. So, which state will be next? You let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And I get the fears that some people think that some states might take this too far, which is a looking at this from a middle of the road point of view, is a rational thought that could happen. Trying to not look at it too left or too right, that is something that could happen. So I do get those legitimate thoughts here, from some of my Republican friends here. I do get your fears here from that. We will see, but I mean, I don't think that the whole of they're going to take our regular gun ownership rights away. I just don't even think that that's a possibility. So, yeah, I mean, you let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but I'll keep you up to date here. Meanwhile, the prices of gas, unbelievable. I cannot believe that this is happening on an hourly basis here, going up. You can see the national prices of gas here, 4.92 a gallon here for regular gas. How this is going up this fast, this quickly, this is absolutely unbelievable. It has gone up 6 cents in less than 24 hours. How is this even happening? A week ago, it was 4.62. Now it's 4.92. I mean, if we're rounding this here, this is 491.9. Might as well say 4.92. A week ago it was 4.62. It's gone up 30 cents a gallon on average in the United States here in 1 week. This is absolutely unbelievable. When does this stop? When do we stop the oil and gas companies from gouging? You can see here, this is the highest gas prices ever. The price of oil has barely budged this week. You can see it's up 1%. 1%. Yet gas prices are up 30 cents in a week. And you can see here this quote here from Chevron here a few days ago. Chevron says that no new refineries will likely ever be built in the United States ever again. And they haven't built any since the 1970s. Quote, we haven't built a refinery in the United States since the 70s. My personal view is there will never be another new refinery built in the United States ever. They don't want to spend the money. They don't want to spend the money. Meanwhile, this is the hypocrisy of this. This is the hypocrisy of the oil companies, right? These top five oil companies just raked in $35 billion in profits, while Americans pay more at the pump than ever. Oil executives cash out like crazy while gas prices soak Americans. And big oil on course for near record $38 billion in stock share buybacks. So remember, they don't, quote, have the money for new oil refineries. They haven't built any since the 1970s in 50 years. But they got $38 billion for, wait for it, stockholder buybacks. Seven majors set for supercharged stock purchasing on top of estimated $50 billion of dividends. $50 billion of dividends and $38 billion in stock share buybacks. So this shows you where their priorities lie. And I mean, I get it. I'm a business owner. I've been a business owner for many years. You know, I owned a limo company and bus company, transportation company, ironically. Uh, Luckily, I don't own that anymore. You know, I had a whole fleet of vehicles and I had 100 employees at one point. I sold that years ago, back in 2012. Um, thankfully, because my gas bills would be outrageous at this point with gas at this. But actually, that's at one point that was back in like 2008, 2009. Gas had hit $4 a gallon back then, because I remember. So not too far from where it is now. Gas is over that, but I mean back then with inflation adjusted. Um, I believe some experts say it was actually more money back then, because that was 14 years ago, 2008, 2022. But here's the thing: I get that they're trying to make as much money as possible, but these corporations, it's like the medical field, it's like hospitals. You have to buy gas, right? In fact, in other countries, gas and oil is actually regulated by the government. Okay, you think about electricity companies; a lot of them are regulated by the government here in the United States. Okay, in other countries, gas companies are actually regulated by the government, because you have to buy it to put it in your car. Some homes need natural gas to fuel their homes for heat. So similar to the pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare industry, where the United States pays 2.5 times more money for prescriptions and healthcare than any other country in the world. These are problems that we just get raked over the coals. The healthcare industry, these big pharmaceutical companies, these gas companies, these oil companies, they're just left to roam free and take advantage of us. Honestly, kind of similar to uh, the NRA. They're out there making billions and billions of dollars. They don't want any reform. They want to just, and when there is reform, they're like, there's too much reform. And when you honestly, when you look at it, you're like, what we have more shootings than any country in the world. Like, and of course they'll tell you, oh, there's more reform, or we have more regular restrictions and regulations than anywhere. Like, what are you talking? And of course, if you just believe what they say, just like the oil and gas companies are like, oh no, they're trying to restrict us on everything. And you'd be like, you haven't built a new refinery in 50 years. And they'll be like, oh, well, don't, don't focus on that. Focus on our $38 billion of stock buybacks. I mean, no, 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 not that. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Focus on the president. He's restricting us. Yeah, focus on that. Y- they're, yeah. So it's like, listen to their stockholder meetings. You can look them up. They're public, okay, because they literally talk to the public. They're shareholders. They'll tell you two different stories, right? When they're talking to about the president, restricting them. You'll hear one story. When they're talking about to their shareholders, it's a completely different story. How much money they're making, how great business is, but put them on, a news station about how restrictive the president is and how bad business. It's just like, you can't make this stuff up. You'll hear two completely different stories. Meanwhile, they're they're going to make twice as much money or more than just last year alone. They're going to make the highest amount of profits they've ever made. Literally combined, they're going to make hundreds of billions of dollars more than last year. And here's the thing: we have to buy gas. You have to put gas in your car. You have to buy gas for your home if you have gas furnaces and stuff like that. And the United States has to buy it. We're forced to. It's just like the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry. So we either pay it, the government helps us out, or long term, we have reform. We wean ourselves off gas and we have other sources. Really, if you just look at this from a realistic point of view, the best, in my opinion, path down the road is to be not reliant on one source. If everything is gas, you're in trouble. Because when gas gets sky high, guess what? Luckily 10% of our power now comes from wind. I don't know off the top of my head what comes from solar, but if you're diversified, you get some from solar, you get some from wind, you get some from nuclear, you get some from water, and really a lot of that stuff that's renewable is it's a lot cheaper because once you build it, it just sits there. It needs a little bit of maintenance, and you don't have to keep digging it out of the ground over and over and over and over. Stuff you got to dig out of the ground every single day. As soon as it's burned, it's gone. It's way more expensive. You think about a solar panel, you put it on your house, it's there. It's up, and it lasts for 30 years or something like that. As soon as you put gas in your car, how long does that last? A week, and it's gone. So this is the problem. But here's the thing: is that we can't be too left leaning and say let's get rid of fossil fuels immediately because it's not realistic. It's not realistic. There, there's hundreds of millions of cars that need gas today. So we need to take a middle of the road point of view and say, all right, well, still need to drill here at home. We still need to get fuel from gas from other countries if need be. We need to do everything we can and grow our infrastructure for the future. We also need to grow our electrical grid because when electric, these automobile manufacturers, car manufacturers, they're um they're making electric cars whether we like it or not. A lot of people, California has already bought over, people in California have already bought over 1 million electric cars alone just in that one state. So the electrical grid needs to keep being, upgraded. Infrastructure needs to keep being upgraded. Okay. That's a good thing. Smart infrastructure too. The smarter the grid gets, the better. We also need to make that hacker proof. All that stuff needs to be secured. You know, think about Russia, right? And it's not like I'm, letting the cat out of the bag here. If I've already thought about it, trust me, it's already been thought about. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Let me know about this gun reform law that's been passed in New York. Um, think it's a good thing, think it's a bad thing. It's not like they banned all guns, but they've passed some reform, raising the age limit for automatics and a couple different things there. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I will keep you up to date. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications as soon as we go live. You can click here to watch my newest video on Social Security raises. Good video there. And here's my newest video on stimulus checks. Really good video there as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.